Hey guys, welcome to Bolt from the Blue Tarot. My name is Sam, and I like you just the way you are. Thank you for being here. I'm an intuitive and a tarot card reader, and I use my psychic gifts for the highest good of all. Let's get into a reading for you. So, I'm going to start with some T-tabs today. See what wants to come out. Accept the challenge you are facing. It may become your greatest gift. Let's see what else. This one. What can you appreciate in this moment? This is a tough set of T-tabs so far, guys. This feels like a lesson that we need to grasp. Might continue until we do. This one. The heart sees deeper than the eye. Accept the challenge you are facing. It may become your greatest gift. What can you appreciate in this moment? And the heart sees deeper than the eye. There's a definite mindfulness energy here, a sinking in, seeing what is, what you have become is what I'm getting. Like there's some sense that you've handled, like you've seen worse, is what I'm getting. And that actually, even if you're going through something real weird right now, it's either a lot better than it used to be, or you're handling it a lot better than you would have in the past. Possibly because you're, like, you know that there's more than meets the eye here. Your heart knows that this is worth it. Okay. We're going to go straight into these cards here. These are new to me. They're for a game that I don't fully know how to play. So we're going full on intuition mode with these. Upside down, we got ice knife. Ice knife upside down. More? Yeah, let's see. See what else. Skywrite. Like skywriting, skywrite. Ice knife, skywrite. First star I see tonight. Gust. Oh. Ooh, something's disappearing. Something's there and then gone again. You know, they say an ice knife is a... I don't know who says this. I don't know why I phrase it like that. They say an ice knife is the perfect weapon, like a murder weapon. Or that isn't that a riddle? I think it's a riddle. Upside down riddle, perhaps. Okay, so ice knife disappears because it melts. And then skywriting gets blown away by a gust of wind. More cards, Spirit? Read these. Okay, gust. You seize the air and compel it to create one of the following effects at a point you can see within range. 1 meter. Let's see. You create a harmless sensory effect using air, such as causing leaves to rustle, wind to slam shutters shut, or your clothing to ripple in a breeze. Is someone feeling something that they can't see? We're going to pull more cards on this. I'm very intrigued by the ice knife, skywriting, and the gust of wind. Sometimes when I feel energy, it does feel like wind, like over the palm of my hand or up my back, right? All right, let's see what the 78 Tarot Astral deck has to say here. And by the way, guys, that's just a saying. That's just like a phrase. We know it's not the deck that's talking, right? We know that the deck is a tool to talk to spirit or your higher self, or however you think of it, your deep mind, that part of you that intuitively knows. Yeah, that's just one of my axes to grind. People treat their divination tools as though they are the oracle, when they themselves are the oracle. All right, let's see what else. The moon. Yeah, so something's hidden. Or the part of it that you experience is just the tip of the iceberg. My attention is being drawn to the moth here. When I first started being brought online, I think is how I'm going to describe it energetically, because I was like, woken up like a sleeper agent, wham, and all of a sudden I could feel energy and stuff. And this was last summer, and moths kept finding me. And I mean, like, they would land in the palm of my hand. It was absurd. And there were different kinds of moths that shouldn't have been found in the area. It was like, and people have different ideas of what the symbol means, but for me, it's that scene in Lord of the Rings when Gandalf is on the top of the tower imprisoned by Saruman, and he grabs that moth, right? And he whispers a message to the moth, and then he sends it off as a messenger. I feel like something spooky is trying to talk to you. Maybe through your intuition with the moon here, the feminine gifts, the receptivity, the psychic self, the deep mind. But, like skywriting, it's there and then it's gone. Accept the challenge you are facing. It may become your greatest gift. Are your gifts coming online? Is that what we're looking at? But this whole thing is shrouded in mystery, like an ice knife that has melted. Like, what's going on here? I like that, when we're confused, sometimes we come to tarot for clarity. And then, we get a reading that's just like, oh, things are confusing. And it's like, well, yeah, but we're going to get you some answers. Don't worry. Any more from this deck, Spirit? Yeah, there's more. Event horizon. Oh, guys. So this tarot deck from this company, 78 Tarot, they're a great indie deck maker. If you haven't checked out their stuff, definitely do so. Independent artists, really good stuff. But there are 2 or 3 completely unique cards in this deck on top of what the tarot has to offer. So I think technically 81 cards, but Event Horizon is one of them. So we're definitely going to read from the book for this one. And it will shed some light, I'm thinking. Event Horizon. Immediately, I'm just recognizing that she's shrouded in this kind of violet flame type color energy, Ascended Master type tones. So, yeah, I think I'm talking to someone who's waking up to something and they're like, what the hell? What the hell is going on? And it's all good. This happened to me so that, I can help people through it as well, or at least provide some reassurance. What am I looking for here? This. Event Horizon. So this book is split up by because different artists created all of the artwork for these cards, and it's split up into the card's story according to the artist, like what their inspiration was, and the card's message. But I think here we're being drawn to the card's story by Enamort. An alien princess confidently steps across the event horizon of a black hole, the point at which nothing can escape. Her third chakra is illuminated, representing the fact that she has made a clear choice to do so. She hasn't been sucked into her situation by accident or by anyone else's decision. In the background, Mars symbolizes the power of will, while Saturn is the limitation she imposes on herself by her actions. The black hole itself is unknown from her perspective, but it is a risk she takes knowingly. This card is about a final choice with no going back. It can be a choice that's yet to be made, or one that's already been made and is affecting the current's life at present. For good or bad, it's a choice that has been made freely and knowingly, but cannot be backed out of. My sense is that you are truly at the event horizon, where this is happening. Like, this is full on happening to you. You might not have chosen the spirit realm, but the spirit realm chose you. Yep, this is what happened to me. Okay. So a couple of things can happen here because this can be very traumatic. I was going to say if we allow it to be. And I think that is the advice coming through. I know how difficult that can be to hear when you're like, Sam, I feel like I am under spiritual attack. But hey, if you're seeing these colors, just know, like, this is a protector. This is not an attacker. And it may feel like what they're doing is, this is so interesting because I was getting something come through on my end as I was setting up to give this message. Something was like, don't get this message out. And I don't know what the messages are before I do it. So I'm just like, oh, annoying, weird. But it felt like an energy that at the beginning of my journey would have really tripped me up. And I would have fed with fear for a long time, right? As my vibration rose, and as I learned more about how we have to give the spirit realm permission to invade our energetic space, right? Like we can set up boundaries and stuff. I was less and less harassed, is what I want to say. This is a particular thing in shamanism, like people with shamanic gifts. This can happen where there's a version of this where you get really sick. So if you've been really sick recently, that can be tied into this. Not a doctor, obviously. I just mentioned this because, you know, our society doesn't prepare us for this. We don't have, if you're watching this in a Western society, we don't have shamans, or we don't grow up with a culture that appreciates their knowledge, right? Or the wisdom surrounding it. But that doesn't mean that our vessel and soul don't hold shamanic gifts. And just because we don't know that we're a shaman, you know, it's like, what is it like? It's like someone walking around in a uniform who doesn't think they're a police officer or something. That's not a great analogy, but like in the spirit realm, you light up and they're like, oh, look, a shaman. Like, I can relay messages through them to my loved ones. And you're like, what is happening right now? I don't know what's going on. All of these energies are harassing me. And there is this phase, and in some cultures, they refer to it as like a madness, where you're like harassed by spirits until you take on the role that you're meant to take on. And, but there, you know, this event horizon, there is a choice here. You can shut this down completely and say, nope, like this is traumatic. I'm not going to push through this, and I'm going to repress this forever. I can't promise that will make it stop. I can't promise that they won't try again. What I can tell you my experience, which is that I am very, very happy that I heeded the call, that I pushed through, and that I didn't give in to fear, right? Because this can all be very, 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 very scary, but it doesn't have to be. Especially when we, you know, it's like the symbol of the moth, where you're like, I'm feeling this thing and it's super uncomfortable. And I looked up moths, I looked up what's happening to me, and they're a symbol of death and decay and, you know, whatever else. People throw a lot of negative stuff on moths, but moths are messengers, you know? And if you have shamanic gifts, they're connected to the underworld, the dead, you know, the root part of the world tree. And so are you if you have these gifts. You're a bridge between worlds. And they recognize that, and you don't yet. And you're seeing all this stuff that is really confusing, or maybe even if you have shamanic gifts, feeling this stuff. Yeah, you're gonna want to check out the energy healing playlists in the description box, and a lot of, like, I have another channel that I always link in there where I create subliminals, and those will really help. What allows things into our field is a subconscious belief that we're not fully protected. And that's an easy one to have when you're feeling attacked, right? When you're like, I have physical evidence that I am, you know, not Fort Knox energetically. But you can become Fort Knox energetically, and you can do it a whole lot faster than I did. I've made a lot of subliminals that will really help, so check those out. Even if you're not into archangels, there's one that's based on a Kabbalistic prayer where you invoke the archangels all around you, in front of you, to the right, to the left, and behind. Uriel, Raphael, Michael, and Gabriel. And then the Shekinah as kind of like a bubble shield. And the Shekinah is the feminine presence of God. That softness, that protectiveness, but tremendous power. Yeah, and I have no, like, I wasn't raised Jewish, never mind Jewish mystic, which is what Kabbalah is. But this Kabbalistic prayer works a treat for me. And it's one that they used to say before bedtime to like protect their body as they were in the astral, in their dreams. But that might be very useful for you. I'm getting confirmation that it will be. Like someone on the other side is trying to connect you to my readings, to my resources, because, and I'm not saying this to plug my stuff, I'm saying this because we are of a similar frequency. Like you hold similar soul gifts, and your journey, from what I've seen so far, is similar. When this happened to me, I was seeing this, like I got, lit up, and I could see spirits, which is the craziest thing. And I don't know if it was like a trauma response or whatever, but I shut it way down. And I'm still working, honestly, guys, I'm still working up to the point where I am courageous enough to explore all of this, because it was extremely traumatic, what I went through energetically. But it does not have to be for you. And I hope that I can do my part in this by reassuring you that you are safe and that you are protected, and that you can do things to enhance your protection. And they're easy, actually, because so much of it is subconscious. It's not like you can do affirmations and stuff, but the subconscious stuff will help a lot. And prayer, meditation, spiritual baths, just like you're at this moment where it's like, choose, red pill or blue pill. Do you want to stay in the matrix and try to shut this down forever? And like a wizard who doesn't know they're a wizard in Harry Potter, just keep doing random magic accidentally? Or do you want to lean into this and know that it will be a whole lot easier if you accept it? And at the end, you will be, you'll be psychic. You'll be, you'll be tapped in. It's where it's at. Like, take it from me. It's a completely different way of being in the world, of being a being. And it's so much more rich and beautiful. Okay, I'm going long on this. But I think at this point we've lost everyone for whom this reading is not for. They clicked off long ago. All right. Anything else from this deck? No, I think we're good. From here? Okay. I'll be very interested. I got this deck. This is Wisdom from the Epics of Hind. These are tales from the Hindu tradition. And there was a lot of really good... No, that's too much for right now. You'll find it. I got this deck soon after I was lit up like a Christmas tree, spiritually, energetically. And I'm curious to see if it's going to be the same card that I pulled. I'll describe the card just in case it is. There's a demon standing behind this guy, and it's kind of about how he works with the demon rather than fighting it. Like, he makes the demon his friend. We'll see. We'll see what comes out. Ooh, no, different. Karna's generosity. Oh, okay. No, we're going to use these like a spread, I guess. Usually I use these as a starting energy, and we kind of, we get like a set the scene kind of energy, but we're going to use these like tarot. Any more? This one? Dusyanta's reunion. This one. Kunti's motherhood. Keep going. Vishnamitra's temptation. Interesting. Shakuni's Grudge. Oh, this is long. Vibhishana's Betrayal. Okay. Something about the progression of spiritual energies. Huh. I know what bits and pieces of this are. Any more card spirit? No. Okay, I'm being asked to sit with this for a second, so I'm going to sit with it, get right back to you guys. All right, guys. I figured out how this works. I've never used this deck like this before, but one of the intentions I set with this channel is to push my boundaries. Push the boundaries of my intuition so you guys see me doing things on camera that I've never done, things that I'm doing for the first time. And so I clarified, split these up into two congruent energies without rearranging the cards, and then clarified using the tarot what each of these, like, you could think of these as like noun adjective groups grammatically, just like these two separate ideas. Let's clarify, get some context for what's being said. And if you do your own divination, this is something you can do, right? Like, I think sometimes I see people pulling from tarot and then they're like, I don't understand, let me clarify it with more tarot. And sometimes it's just like, no, you need like a different set of cards in here. An oracle deck can really help. Just a single oracle deck can shed so much light on a confusing reading. Anywho, on this side, with Karna's generosity, Dushyanta's reunion, and Kunti's motherhood, in the center we have, let me just, so we have this baby looking into a monster's mouth. And this is like, in some ways this is you, but you are also this warrior, right? And you are also this gentle feminine energy. There's a degree here of, yes, your own masculine and feminine, like combining all of these, like whoever you are someone with depth, with a range of skills. And my sense is you are fairly well balanced in the masculine and the feminine already. I mean, just in the doing principle and the receiving, like the softness as well, like divine masculine, divine feminine. And what's being encouraged here is each of these is a protective card, right? Like we have to protect this baby, but mostly from its own fear or naivety, in a new, encountering something it's never seen before. And then over here we have someone with this is a strong masculine energy of the best defense is a good offense, but in a peaceful way. This is like casting a circle of protection, right? But you see the calm look on his face, like this is no biggie. this is like he allows other people to fight his battles for him. You know, your defenders in the spiritual realm. And if you feel like I don't have any defenders in the spiritual realm, Sam, it's all good, because the archangels in particular are non-denominational. Everyone thinks they're Christian or, you know, Abrahamic traditions, but anyone can call on them and they'll help anyone. So if you feel like I haven't cultivated any spiritual like relationships, any allies in the spiritual realm, it's all good, because they're just waiting for you to ask for help. Anywho, circle of protection, the subliminals will really help with that, because it's mostly subconscious. And then love, on the other hand, if you're a Harry Potter fan, this is what prevents Voldemort from being able to kill Harry, right? A mother's love. And this isn't necessarily from your own mother. It probably isn't. This is your own nurturing love and feeling these feelings, like staying in a state of love. It's so high vibrational, and it's outside of, you know, subconscious defenses. This is the best defense, is love. And it can help you see through illusion as well. So cultivating this love, it feels counterintuitive when you're feeling like energetically assaulted, right? But what we have here is the world, again, emphasizing in this image the circle of protection, right? This is kind of like you making some borders against the outside world spiritually, like gathering your allies around you and creating not Fort Knox like we were talking about earlier, but a circle of protection. And we had the Queen of Pentacles, and in this instance, the pentacle she's holding is really standing out to me. This star within the circle, everyone's like, oh, that's about, you know, witchcraft in the pejorative, like that's something evil, but it's an ancient symbol of protection. So that's what's being encouraged here, is just some like energetic protection. And this is not difficult to do. Once you start looking into it, it's very, very easy. It's just believing that it helps you, right? Like that belief in your bones is what really is going to help you. And it's about forming those beliefs subconsciously. Again, check out my other channel. But over here with these three cards, these were clarified by, let me show you these first. I'm big on the art, so on this channel, I always make sure you guys can see the cards. So with this one, you see the guru meditating here. And then there's like all of these illusions and temptations, delusions, like all of these things trying to get his attention energetically. And they want him to engage, right? They're like raring to go. They are antagonistic. They want to get under your skin, right? They want reactions out of you. Energies are very similar to people, especially at low vibrations. They're just like, they want to get a rise out of you because that makes you engage and it gives them energy, right? Like, but what you want to do is not give them any energy at all. You want to completely turn your back from this. And you can maybe do this more artfully than I did. But like, these energies will try to engage you in frustrating ways, and they'll try to get under your skin, but just know that like you have the power. And what's being encouraged here is King of Swords, Page of Swords. And from this, I get like, with the butterflies on her throne, she's undergoing this transformation, but through it, she doesn't allow herself to get thrown into emotional turmoil by these things, right? She stands tall on her throne And the swords are all about discernment, right? It's very easy for us to, if we're an overthinker, get super duper in our heads. But this is more about remembering, like this air energy here is about remembering who is in charge here, right? Like, yes, I feel physically that these energies are accosting me, that they are trying to get under my skin, that they are trying to make me feel fear, because otherwise, what else would they be fueled by, right? Like, how else would they get me to engage? But you, like, literally withdraw from this battle. You use this sword energy to discern, yes, this is happening. And then you withdraw, right? Like you, and this is less about observing these energies and more about observing yourself and how you're reacting to them, because that's ultimately what they're there to teach you. The Page of Swords is withdrawing to consider how they will use their sword. And remember, this takes very little actual, like the masculine action here, the doing, the offensive is very subtle. It's more like you set up these practices and like energy hygiene behaviors, and you make some spiritual allies, you call upon them, you set up the energetic boundaries. But these are all things that you do for you, right? You do this for you. Like these energies want you to be very them focused, like pouring your energy outwards. But the most strategic thing you can do, the most beneficial thing you can do, is pour your energy back into you. And this is like thoughtful, caring, nurturing, light blue energy, right? This like, hey, I know I'm scared right now, but I also know that that is going to perpetuate a pattern that will keep me honestly available to these energies, right? And I choose not to be available to them. So I'm going to do these things for me to set up boundaries. And you're going to skate through this. I promise you, you're going to do so much better than I did. Any more advice? We're going to the cards. Okay. Timon and Pumbaa in the jungle. This is perfect advice. So a lot of this is going to sound really counterintuitive. It's like, Sam, this is really scary, and I have to do something about it. I have to engage. And it's like, nope. Hakuna Matata, baby. Just like, yes, seek out resources for sure. Like there are resources that exist out there. And I have many that I have created or that will point you to other people's stuff, right? They'll give you a starting point. They'll give you ideas. So check them out. But staying in this easygoing energy is actually the very, very best defense, and looking to feel good, right? Because that they can't do anything with that. These energies that are accosting you, like they can't, it gives them no in when you're feeling good, feeling joyful. And there's good consideration here about like, where do you feel at ease, and like you can just relax, because relaxation, that kind of energy, is anathema to these energies. They can't do anything with it. With whom do you feel Hakuna Matata, right? No worries. Who do you feel that with? And now is the time when you start considering all of the media that you're watching, right? Because if you're watching scary, like scary stuff, or you're watching violent stuff late at night, like now is the time for a cleanse of all that. Focus on media that makes you feel loving. Like now is the time to raise your vibration, right? So in the same way that you would eat healthier foods to raise your vibration, which is being recommended, by the way, you would also consider the content that you take in as like food for your conscious and subconscious. It's like all the fodder that it's sifting through, and you want it all to be like, right now you want like Bob Ross energy. You want like Mr. Rogers. You want like Enya, okay? This is the energy you want to be in, because, and that's why, like, yeah, anyway, that will help you a lot, because it will calm your nervous system as well. Like, there's a reason why people like Mr. Rogers, they like Bob Ross, they like Enya, because it's calm, it's relaxing, it's peaceful, right? It restores that, not just to your mind, but to your body. Anything else from here? Covered it? All right. So you might feel like, Sam, with all of this going on, this is like, this is shoddy advice, man. This isn't enough. And what I will say is, again, check out my other stuff linked below. I have built this channel, like one of the intentions for this was, me telling Spirit, like, use me to help other people. Make me the messenger for messages that only I can deliver because of what, Spirit has ensured I've gone through. And this is most definitely their intention as well. So I'm aligning with it. And just know that everything is calibrated to give you a shortcut through this. Everything I have made will make your journey, just so much smoother. And watch other tarot readings as well. You pick up like ones that make you feel good, not the ones that are like, they're pulling cards and they're like, oh my God, she said this, he said that. And, you're being assailed by negative energies. Although there was an aspect of that here. That's just what was coming out. That's not what my channel is usually like. So yeah, seek out tarot readers or people giving energetic kind of advice on YouTube who, you watch them and the heart sees deeper than the eye, right? These people who make you feel good. And I mean like Bob Ross good. People who are speaking from the soul, because that is also anathema to these energies. They'll hate it. You'll love it. You'll ascend so much faster than I did. It's going to be great, guys. You can do this. You've got this. Like, you are a God incarnate. You are incredibly powerful. That's why these beings need to try to steal your energy, right? Because you're this big bright light, and you can create whatever reality you want. And that's what I didn't realize going into this. I was like, I need to prescribe to some belief system that comes with protection. I need to set up physical, I need to do like a bunch of physical stuff. But you don't. It's just subconscious. Like, you have to believe that you are protected, and that takes some doing. But once you get to that point and your vibration is high enough, you're pretty much untouchable. So don't worry about it. You're going to get to that point if you decide to push into and through this. I think you will. Keep tuning in. This channel will have more for you yet. I'll see you in the next one.